Welcome back to Roundup Reddit, the channel where we share real stories from Reddit. Today we have a collection of posts about loneliness and human connection. Let's dive in. Story 1. Is it normal to feel increasingly lonely as you get older? When I was in high school, I used to dread the weekends and summers because I didn't have much to do. I'd try to keep myself busy with my hobbies, but reading and watching dramas only took me so far. I had friends, but it was hard to see them. They weren't always around. I thought that it would get easier when I got older. I would have a car, I would have money to go to things, etc., but I feel like nothing's really changed. Everyone's always busy, always hustling and grinding, which I have a lot of respect for, but I also really miss having real conversations with people. When was the last time you've been on a phone call for more than an hour with someone you cared about? Or even just having a fun, exciting text chat where you can't put your phone down because you're eagerly waiting for the person to reply? I'm probably calling myself out. Maybe I just don't have enough friends. Anyways, I hope you never have to feel so lonely it makes you cry. Story 2. Is it normal to feel lonely? I'm a new second lieutenant in the National Guard. I'm in Basic Officers Leaders course now, and lately it's been difficult. Not academically, but socially. I know I'm going to get crap for this thread, but it's whatever. Being in this sort of officer environment, is it normal to feel a bit lonely? I know the officer world is more independent, but I didn't realize the maturity levels would still reflect what people do in college. Cliques, being judgmental, and minor forms of immaturity. This is by no means a holier-than-thou comment. I'm just being observant. Despite having a technical degree that I worked my ass off for, I still rank close to the bottom of my class. I don't party on weekends. I go to the gym on weekends, go to bed early, eat healthy, study, and get my homework done. The combination of my social awkwardness, my low class ranking, and the cliqueness of people makes me feel like an outcast. I'm not on bad terms with anyone, but I'm simply a gray man. No one really pays attention to me, no hates me, and no one will probably remember me. It's even more rough when you're a single dude in a shithole of a town. The problem is, I'm not terrible at anything, but I'm not excellent at anything, so I bring nothing to the table. If you ask my instructors, they'd probably not say anything at all. I PT my ass off, I lift weights and run a lot and try to be in the front of runs and rucks. BTW, I got passed by a lot of people on our 12-mile ruck this week despite trying. I live off of basic principles, but still feel these have failed me. I try to bring a good attitude, bring some sort of value to the group, and be genuine. Is my situation normal? Does anyone else feel this way? I'm trying to be all I can be, but it doesn't seem to be paying dividends. Either it's normal or I'm not being honest with myself. Warning order, wild turkey whiskey. Story 3. Is it normal to have no friends and not feel lonely? I, 19 female, genuinely have 0 friends. I had 3 friends in high school, but we just didn't click, so I cut them off and haven't talked to them in years. Whenever I did hang out with friends, I always felt this weird disconnect, like my body is physically there, but my brain is not. Whenever I'm outside in general, I'm always thinking about going home. My only form of social contact is on the internet, but even there, all my relationships have been a failure. I've cut off every potential online friend I had due to my fear of getting close to others. I only talk to my sister and Kat. Even though we fight a lot, she is still my best friend since we do everything together. Other than that, I'm usually alone at home most of the time, quite literally married to my hobbies. I am very passionate about the things I do and have big dreams and goals, none of which involve people. When I am with people, it's just a roller coaster of anxiety, jealousy, anger, and paranoia. I am aware I have mental issues, but being away from people just helps with my mental health so much. I don't want close connections with people. I'd never want to open up to others either, preferring anonymity and privacy. I simply love being alone in my own fantasy world. The only thing I fear is feeling out of the loop, being cut off from society, or missing out on important opportunities. I'm just wondering, is this weird or unhealthy? Story 4. Is it normal to feel lonely as a teen? 17, female, and I've always had a complex that makes me think there's something wrong with me. Like I don't understand some social conventions and why people do things and act in society, and that everyone I know has more friends. I know this is common, but I can't find a way to heal this mindset. I'm an extrovert, and I find that I wish I had more people to do things with because things are more fun with others to share them with. I'm pretty mature and have rather niche interests, so finding common ground with peers is always difficult for me. They can't relate to or understand me very well usually. I have 1 friend outside of school and 2 good ones inside, but plenty of acquaintances I talk to in school every day. I'm rarely in a class without someone I know. I had a best friend for a while that made me feel better. She really got me and made me feel normal for once. But she found other friends and stopped talking to me for the most part. Though she claims she misses me, I'm not so sure she means it. So yeah, it's pretty lonely now, and even my good friends just aren't filling that void she left. And I'm afraid a relationship is nowhere in sight because I've never been asked out by anyone but that friend. But I wish I could get into one to be less lonely. Any advice or suggestions? I'm hoping I find new people in college as I'm currently a junior. Story 5. It's perfectly okay to feel loneliness and want companionship. I'm an avid Reddit user, and so I browse many subreddits. And in doing so, I often see many threads about people wanting to find relationships, feeling lonely, etc., especially now during quarantine. The problem is, I keep seeing the same tired advice like focus on yourself or you can't expect others to fill a void and make you happy, blah blah. These statements just don't speak truth to the harsh reality that we are all humans, and as such, we crave intimacy, companionship, and conversation. Some are able to get these things easier than others, and these are usually the people trying to give the advice. There is nothing wrong with wanting to vent and feel lonely. It's perfectly normal. Another aspect that I think people tend to ignore is the fact that societal pressure makes everything 10x harder to deal with. You listen to the radio and all you hear are songs about love and sex. You go outside in public and see all those couples holding hands and laughing. You hang out with your friends and they all bring their wives, husbands, and you just have to sit by yourself. The list goes on and on, making you feel worse. Just imagine putting these people down and telling them, work on bettering yourself, as if there is something wrong with them in the first place. We are who we are, and there is someone out there who will appreciate that. There are tons of individuals out there with very successful careers, lots of money, shredded bodies, and yet still single. Why, you ask? Because there is way more to life in finding your special person than just saying better yourself. Honestly, for those that are struggling right now with being single, both men and women, don't worry about it because I'm right there with you and here to give you some hope. There is someone out there waiting to meet you, I promise. Just hang in there and continue to be yourself. Don't change who you are for someone else. While this is definitely a great time to pick up new hobbies or perhaps fit in some regular exercise, do those things because you truly want to, not because you think it will help you meet someone. Story 6. Is it normal to feel lonely even with a friend's support? My boyfriend broke up with me yesterday, or basically is planning to, and I'm just painfully waiting for him to make the final decision. I'm in so much pain and I feel so anxious and nauseous. For maybe the second time in my life, I'm feeling unbearable emotional pain from this. My heart is aching physically, my chest is burning, I can't eat, sleep, drink. I can't even distract myself with video games or TV. All I can do is cry and make my heart hurt with thoughts of him. Body is trembling and I can't even take a bite of food without having the urge to puke. Now for my best friend of 8 years. I love her so much. She's such an amazing and loyal friend. She's always been there for me, and I couldn't ask for a more compassionate person to be with during this time in my life. My issue, though, is even when she does comfort me and try to wholeheartedly cheer me up and distract me, I still feel lonely. I know she won't and can't take away my grief, but I mean, I still feel lonely, like I'm completely isolated even when she's right there talking to me. It honestly makes me feel like a dick. I'm trying to absorb her kind words and appreciate her presence, but I just feel so alone and numb. I feel like I'm the only person in the world right now. As dramatic as that sounds, I'm scared that this empty, extreme loneliness and hollow feeling will persist for a long time, essentially making it impossible to engage with my best friend. I don't know anymore. My heart and soul is crushed, and I don't want to hurt my friend by telling her how I feel alone when she's trying to help me. This is my first breakup ever, and I genuinely didn't think I was capable or emotionally open enough to be as destroyed as I am, but I'm here, sitting on the couch, mindlessly watching videos and feeling a stabbing sensation in my chest and stomach, wanting a hug from him or to hold his hand. Thank you for listening to these heartfelt stories from Reddit. Remember, it's okay to feel lonely sometimes, and seeking connection is a natural part of being human. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.